Hello, beer tubers, and welcome to yet another Versus Beers with me, Peter, the Master of Hoppets, today joined by
Brett
of Anomyces, and we're doing two beers somewhat blind. I knew I had them in the fridge, and Brett knew I had them, but we thought they'd be fun to do blind, so my girlfriend poured them for us, so we don't know what is what. Mainly because, they have similar hops, and a lot of people are saying that this brewery here, Overtone, is the new, hype brewery in the UK, and a lot of people are saying that Alefarm is doing just as good IPA in Denmark.
Yeah.
So it'll be fun to see if we can taste.
So Overtone
what
is
is
from
what?
Scotland, and
Yeah,
of course, Alefarm is
from Denmark. And Overtone, a lot of people I've seen really, really go nuts over their stuff.
I have a lot of that in the store I work in, and people buy it, in spades. So
I haven't tried any yet. This is gonna be my first Overtone beer. So
I like the first double IPA I had from them, which is.
Both of these, by the way, were also recommended by Hopskull Beer Guide on Instagram.
And they both Strata hopped.
He actually requested for me to try them. He said, because I was getting on D0, the gold top IPAs, he was like, you should get these. He thought they were really good. So we're doing them somewhat blind in a battle.
Yeah, I have no clue which is which because I haven't looked anything up on Untappd.
Me neither.
I don't know,
The only reason why I knew of these is because Hopskull told me to try them, so I picked them up. But it's Overtone Stratas Fear and Afterglow by Alefarm. So both are Strata hopped double IPAs, but this one also has a bit of Chinook, I think. And this one also has Asaka and Simcoe. They're both 8% as well, so very similar ABVs. So which one do we want to start with? We have the answers right here.
Let's just try
the darker one.
Right to left, yeah.
Okay, right to left. So
yeah,
this is more orange.
Yeah.
Quite dark, actually.
Yeah, it looked like Treehouse beer. This orange.
Actually, it does, because the last ones we had were really dark.
Yeah.
Compared to the monkish stuff. Well, not unfortunately as,
one wasn't dark in the way you want it to be. No.
But it's a darker orange.
It's that murky, pulpy, thick orange.
Yeah, and this looks thicker and more pulpy than this. But that could also be a color thing. But let's check out the aroma on this one. Yeah, do you know what?
Mango?
Yeah, it has a little bit of a pellet thing for me.
Yeah.
Like nothing crazy, but
there's sweetness.
There's definitely some sweetness and some kind of things that are like earthy and oniony too.
Yeah, slightly, but I'm getting that like juicy mango, but also slightly peppery mango.
I must say, smelling this from drinking all the monkish stuff and whatnot, this is no way close. To be honest, no way. Like it's not as popping and bright. It has a hop pellet thing, like almost like it's conditioned a bit longer on the hops. Like almost like when you smell, I don't want to say like homebrew or whatever, but I just remember.
I don't think it smells like
no, not homebrew, but it just has it smells like it's been sitting on the pellets more, and it also doesn't have as complex of a yeast profile. No. It's almost, I don't want to say it's clean, but it doesn't have like big overripe gushing esters. There's a little bit, but I don't think it's crazy.
No. It's not that defined. I'm mostly getting that
is a bit
slightly mango-y thing, but also slightly earthy and oniony.
I'm also getting spearmint, but definitely I think mango is the big.
Yeah, it is, and a bit of onion. But
well, let's try it.
Yeah.
Cheers. Taste is much better than the aroma, but I will say it has like an earthy, oniony, like pellety thing to it. Like compared, no, I don't think it's crazy.
I don't think it's that much, to be honest.
It's a little bit, but when you compare it to like the crazy brightness of the monkish beers we had, there's also much sweeter.
Much different character.
Yeah, and it's really sweet.
It reminds me of that treehousey style, like old school treehouse that was a bit more sweet and.
I will just say
not as hop centric.
I will somewhat agree with that, but I still think it has more of a just like an oniony kind of like pellety like. It reminds me of when we drank the IPAs from Brazil. It's the same kind of flavor.
I'm not getting that pellety thing, to be honest. But I'm
pellety,
getting,
but I think it's just like an earthy thing.
Yeah, I'm getting some kind of like slightly oniony flavor. I'm definitely getting that, but along with mango, like mango pulp.
Yeah.
But I'm not getting pellet like that pellety, slightly harsh.
I think it's it's really to the sweet side, a little bit earthy. Maybe light pellety than whatever. It's not like chewing on hops
No,
at all.
No. When you talk about pellety, I just think of something like Apex and
No.
And
It's not like that.
those are
I think it's
super
maybe
harsh.
just like the earthiness.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like it's really sweet. I think it's more like malt sweetness than actually complex like esters.
Yeah,
Like,
a bit of like an
I'm
almost like
guessing
a honey
this
malt.
could be like an S04 yeast,
Yeah.
like the dry yeast, because I feel like that you can produce some okay New England IPA with it, but it's just like I'm not getting like crazy amounts of cool esters.
No. But it also dries out, it's not only sweet, but it definitely lacks a bit of like distinct hop or like flavor profile.
I think it's all right, but it's not world class.
No. It's
It's
pretty,
nice.
Pretty
It's good.
decent.
It's still for me. It's probably like
Yeah.
somewhere in the early 90s,
Probably
if not
say straight
89.
90, maybe 91. Yeah. I'll say it's pretty. I think the mouthfeel,
It's nice.
The
The
texture
mouthfeel is
of
really
the beer is very
super fluffy, but it's like I think there's a lot of malt sweetness to it. But yeah, let's try and jump over to the next one.
Yeah.
See how this is. This looks more like my cup of tea. It's more bright in color.
Yeah.
Not as dark. See what we think.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely more bright. More lemony, limey, singy.
Passion fruity.
Yeah. For me,
This
it's
is more
really
classic Strata to me. This is what I
It's almost
think
like-
of when I smell or taste Strata.
This one?
This one. It's much more bright and singy and fresher.
Yeah, and it has like a tart passion fruit
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's just, it smells much more like my kind of New England IPA.
Lemon, passion fruit, lime.
More towards a monkish thing, but nowhere near as complex in terms of
But
hop
also
character
not-
and
It's
yeast
not
character.
as bursting
No,
out
no.
of the glass, but
Like-
it's still if
It's very fragrant, but it's not like that whoosh like
Yeah.
we got with some of the monkish ones.
but if you're pretty new to beer or you're just getting into New England IPA, I think you'll be pretty stoked to.
Yeah, for
or
sure. And I
taste
think it smells really good.
Yeah.
I definitely like the aroma on this one the
Yeah.
most, but let's try it.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, it's also got a lot of more classic generic New England IPA juice.
Yeah.
Like what this just
It's much more
classic on the flavor, but these
Yeah.
reminds me why I got fed up with the style. Like really sweet and really sweet malt character, and not like singy bright. Both of them lacks that singy brightness that I want. And the fun thing, a lot of people told me like these are just like the top tier, like crazy great, maybe not European, whatever, Danish and Scottish IPA.
Yeah,
whatever. Like a lot of people have just been saying like both of these, they think at the moment Alefarm is making top tier, like really, really amazing stuff, and so does Overtone. I think it's good.
Yeah.
It's nice beer,
but I
but
don't
it's
think-
not. But it just reminds me why I was tired of the style, because it's just overripe and gushing, or not gushing, but it's like
It's
really
not that
overripe and
distinct.
sweet.
It's a
yeah,
bit,
it's not
it's
distinct.
a bit,
It does have that singy like pop, 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 pop.
This
It doesn't go like that.
Flavor-wise, it's a bit like sweetened, slightly sugary passion fruit with a bit of, just slightly generic, juicy multi-fruit juice.
Yeah.
It's not, it's not that defined in flavor.
It's more like a generic tropical fruit juice.
Yeah.
I agree. It's not like crazy defined.
Again, if you have
That being
like
said-
this multi-fruit juice, it's kind of hard to pinpoint things.
It's true. It's true.
So that's why it reminds me of that, but probably a bit more passion fruit than anything
Yeah, I
else.
agree. More passion fruit and a little bit more brightness, but I just prefer a more unique and more defined hop character. Like all these like cool grape flavors and crazy dankness, and like these are not dank at all. Like they're so sweet and more towards like fairly juicy side, and that's just like if I want to drink hazy IPAs, that's not what I want anymore. Like I want just popping brightness and dankness, and I think that's why I'm just totally in love with monkish.
Yeah.
Because this is what they do.
But
that
this
being said,
one
there's still-
reminds me much more of a treehouse beer because it's a bit more malty, but it also has a bit more edge actually than this one. This one is a bit more like this generic multi-fruit juice, but it's also a bit brighter.
It's a bit brighter. I will say though, I don't like compared to the treehouse ones we had.
Yeah,
I think this is quite
is-
far off.
Yeah,
but it's more
not
towards
as
that
good.
style of
It's,
IPA.
it's in that vein, but it's not as good. But it's kind of, you get what I mean, it's a bit, you kind of taste a bit of the malt, and it's a bit more edgy and slightly, earthy on the hops, but this one is just like, this is sweet multi-fruit juice with a bit of brightness.
Yeah, but I think it would be fun. Like, people have been asking in the comments for us to do like a crazy blind.
These would be killed by Monkish.
Yeah, 100%.
And also probably
100%.
the best treehouse. These wouldn't be even close.
No,
at least
I think so.
Yeah,
like
these would absolutely be like 4 or 5 grades below.
Yeah.
Most of the double IPAs those breweries produce.
I agree. Yeah. There's a reason why they're renowned as being world class, and I know a lot of people say, you shouldn't try and get them and blah blah blah. And we make just as good, beer in Europe. We make really good beer in Europe, and we have some breweries like I've said with
but also probably some other breweries.
Like Trek, as I said right now. For me, they have the same popping thing as Monkish, which I really love. But these are just they're just a bit more like, they're just not as definable.
A bit more generic.
But I will guess that this one is Alefarm, just because the earthiness in it reminds me of the last Alefarm beer I had, which was what was it called? The North Trails thing.
Yeah, North Trails. Yeah.
And then I'll guess this one is Overtone, just because I don't know. This is just reminds me more of an Alefarm beer. And in terms of grades, I will say like around 90 for both. Maybe 88 on this and a straight 90 on this.
Yeah. I tasted Overtone's Oofed, which I like probably a bit more than this, than the Stratosphere. And that was very close to this one. So I kind of suspect that it's kind of the same base.
It could be
for both beers, because they are both 8%, and it's just this one is very similar to Oofed, but just at slightly different characters. So I'll guess Overtone and Alefarm.
Yeah, and what do you think grade wise? Which one is this the winner for you too?
Yeah, probably. I think this is a bit better. I'll probably go straight 90, maybe a 91, and an 89 on this one.
I think this gets a bit too sweet.
Yeah, kind of. I think this also just maybe has a bit more edge, but the thing for me is that it's a bit more generic and it's not as defined in flavor as this one.
This is more defined. But let's see. Afterglow left, Strata double IP right. We're wrong.
What?
We're wrong.
Sure?
Yep. Afterglow is the left one. Strata double IPA is the right one.
Well, now I kind of see why some people really
like
think this one. Yeah, because
and now I see why a lot of people say that Alefarm is better than Overtone. I haven't had any Overtone before this,
but because this one is quite different from the other Alefarm I've had as of late. But when I think of it, it reminds me of some of the earlier Alefarm I had, like Saturated and also King's something. But those were really juicy, like this one.
But what might explain the earthiness in this then is Chinook.
Chinook, yeah, that makes sense.
That does make sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. But it's just this. Yeah, I don't know. I expect this one to be much closer to Oofed.
Well, I still stand by the grades, no matter what. But I was sure that this would be the Alefarm, but it's just because of the hop character. Because it reminded me so much more of the other one. But
well, I kind of love that we got it wrong, because we didn't really think about the hops. We kind of more thought about what we tasted as of late.
Instead of the actual hops in the beers.
But it makes sense with Chinook that this one is a bit more earthy and
to be honest, I totally don't see the hype around Overtone.
At least not with this one. I definitely thought Oofed, which was pure Citra with different kinds of Citra, was definitely a better beer than this one.
This is so sweet.
Yeah, but Oofed was also a sweet beer.
It just tastes like why I got sick of drinking on IPAs. I don't want to drink, these kind of... It's still really nice, but I just... More singing more brightness, more bitterness and everything. Like, they're not very bitter beers either. Like, at least Monkish has a little bit of
people like when they have this slightly sweet thing,
I don't.
Yeah, because they don't want it to taste too much of, dare I say it, beer. Or at least old school IPA or whatever.
Okay, well, so Afterglow won.
Yeah.
There we go.
I actually love that we got it wrong.
I love that we got it wrong, but one thing I also love is that,
That Alefarm won.
Yeah,
Denmark won.
Denmark won over Scotland. But that being said, I'd probably check out some more Overtone in the future. And it's not 100%, like.
But I probably.
But it's just so sweet.
Want to check out more Alefarm instead.
Yeah.
Not only based on this, but also when I think back, I've actually had quite a few Alefarm beers that I really liked.
I had one at Christmas or around the New Year with an owl on. I totally forgot the name, but that was also really good. And it's also more.
We had that at New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve. That's right. And it was more towards this actually.
Yeah, very bright actually.
But the reason why I was thinking Alefarm with this one is just because of that, North Trails collab. But Alefarm won.
Yeah.
With a 90. I still think it's good, but it's just, again, it's not as, like for 8% double IPAs, hazy double IPAs, both of them are not as crazily defined as what's going on in the US. But also one of the big things is like the prices on hops here are much higher.
Yeah,
and
also
we don't
older
get
hops.
Older hops, they're shipped. You don't get like all the way from the, Atlantic, and you don't get to hand select hops in the same way. At least, like, some of the brewers, they hand select Simcoe crops, hand select. But I still think there's definitely great Danish IPA and great UK IPA and European IPA. But I just still think, there are a few handful of breweries now that still hold top tier remarks in the States. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
But it will be interesting. We'll be trying some Fidens soon, and that's apparently the newest of hype.
By the way, I think I'll actually put this at a 91 and an 89 on this one. I actually think there's a bit more distance between them than one grade. So, and I actually think this is a pretty good. It's a pretty good double IPA.
Yeah, I just like that it has a bit more brightness.
Yeah,
and it's less sweet than this.
Yeah.
But yeah, fun. We got it wrong. But if you guys had a chance to try either Overtone Stratas beer or Alefarm's Afterglow, let us know what you thought of them. Also, we got these on D0, by the way, if you know that webshop.
I haven't shopped there.
I bought them on there because Hopskull recommended that I should try them, which is also where I got those Gold Chops from Trek. So yeah, if you guys had either of these two, let us know. And as always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page, Twitter, and Instagram. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And we're going to say cheers.
Yes. Cheers.
See you guys in the beer review.